Well, when I googled it, it was someone talking about Persona 5, and right now it's just mostly everything's telling you about how Destiny 2 is going to have a lot of timed exclusivity with like items and.
Well, yeah, but that had that for PS4, like the Hawk Moon and things like that.
That's similar to Xbox.
Yeah, that's just
not to Xbox, to Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's just the main thing that's coming up.
It's just straight action.
There is talk though that Persona will be on Switch.
Was No Man's Sky timed exclusive?
No.
It might have came out on PS4 like a few days before PC.
There's no way.
If that.
I don't think it was.
It wouldn't have released on PC after PS4. That I don't believe.
Yeah, but we can go to somebody else's topic.
So, Tyler, what's your topic?
It's not necessarily a topic. I'm just going to read you guys some questions, right? And you guys are going to answer them.
Is this a questionnaire for like a job application or something?
It's a questionnaire of sorts.
What's your social security number?
What Aladdin character are you?
What is your mother's maiden name?
What street were you born on? Who is your first best friend?
What is the first pet's name?
Why is the alphabet in order?
Oh, you're doing this, BS? There's no reason for it to be, okay?
I don't think it is in an order.
It is in order.
You're taught in an order.
You're taught in a certain order, but I don't think that's like an order. Like, you know.
Yeah,
But if I ask you what's the third letter of the alphabet, what's the answer?
C.
Okay,
So then it is
it's
in an order.
It's in an order.
I mean, yeah, but like.
Did you know a book is just a random combination of all letters?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I know.
Ain't that the shit?
I don't know. I feel like that's just the easiest way to teach it, you know? Like, if you go to one teacher,
I mean,
and the
how
teacher's
else-
like
how
ABCD, and the other teacher's like Q's X4.
Well, then you need a new teacher.
I mean, you can't make a jingle out of it if it's not ABCD, not
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason, because it has a rhyme to it.
LQPZ, TRS, T again.
TTT. TTTQ.
Are you just, what's the next question?
6.
The next question is, shouldn't you be able to spell creative however you want to?
No.
I'm gonna say no.
You can't spell creative creatively?
No,
No.
you cannot.
Why not?
Because the word's not creative.
you need
The
to
word
add
just
an
means
LY.
The word is
Yeah.
creative.
But the word itself is not a creative word. It just means creative.
I'd have to disagree. I feel like the word creative is a very creative
All
word.
words are creative when you really think about it.
I hate this topic.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
All words are creative.
Because have you ever sat there and thought, why is this word the way it is, or how do you like
Never,
talk?
not once.
Oh, I've thought about this. I'm like, why is this the word for that?
A lot of it has to do with like ancient words
I
Like
get
Greek.
that, but I'm like, even then,
in Latin.
but like even then, why? See, that's the thing.
Two cavemen were in a cave. They looked at a rock, and one said "ugh." The other one said "ugh." So then, every time they said rock, they said "ugh."
And then it just snowballed from there, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
And now you're listening to a podcast.
Which is completely made up of words.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
All right.
Next question. Why don't you ever see ads for an advertising company? Wouldn't you feel like they would have the best ads?
You would think.
So why have I never seen an ad for an advertising company? How do people know where to go to get advertisements?
Doesn't it like if
That's
you
an
saw
excellent
if you
point.
saw an ad online? Doesn't it sometimes like say I don't know.
No.
Fuck, never mind.
I think in every ad, it has the company that made the ad.
maybe in
it's
the,
somewhere in
maybe
the-
in the small
in the font.
print.
Yeah,
in the small
yeah.
print, maybe.
In a very, very, very small print.
Yeah,
Right.
like it's the same shade as the background.
Sure. Yeah. Or like the kids just wearing like a little T-shirt. You know.
They put Easter eggs in all of their ads.
When you put all the ads together, they make one story.
And that spells out the alphabet, and that's why it's in a certain order. Next question.
Do pyromaniacs wear blazers?
I'm gonna say that they wear whatever they want.
Whatever they're feeling that day.
Hold on. I gotta find another good one.
Are you on some website?
Leave me alone.
What
Yeah.
website are you on
Yeah,
for,
well,
for the children at home?
I'm on a website. I'm in the
You have
creativity of my own
you
mind.
literally have a laptop right in front of you.
You needed the laptop. Like, that's why you made such a big issue at the beginning.
Leave me alone.
Okay, was that a topic?
Okay, so
Barely.
if the product says do not use if seal is broken, how are you supposed to open it and use it?
Well, that's just telling you if the seal's already broken
Yeah.
and you get it, then just don't use it.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Why do tourists go to the tops of the buildings and put money in a telescope to look at things that are on the ground?
See if
Get
you
a better view.
Jinx.
No, that's not going to happen during a podcast.
You clearly didn't see the episode of How I Met Your Mother where Barney broke his jinx.
Did he?
Yeah,
He did.
that's when
He
he got hit by
a
the
bus
bus.
later that day.
Shit, you're right.
And then remember, he finally got jinxed at the bar, and like, it was a good episode. I just saw it the other day, actually.
Do you have any more?
Space is a vacuum. Who changes the bags?
God. Next question.
No, legitimate question. What happened to the number 1 pencil? Why are all of our pencils number 2? I need to look this up right now.
Because there's no best pencil in the world.
What happened?
But
Seriously,
if number 1 is eliminated, would that not make number 2 the best?
Well, if first is the worst, second is the best. So why make a number 1 because that's the worst? Marketing, ladies and gentlemen. Second is the best.
that's just not marketing.
Hey, you don't know how they market
Well,
pencils.
they went to the wrong advertising company, but they would have went to the right one if they saw an ad for the right advertising company. I gotta figure this out. Okay, you can talk. I'm gonna come to you guys with an answer about why there are no number 1 pencils.
So, Zach, what do you have to contribute for us today?
Well, I want to talk about homeless people.
Throwback to 24 hours ago when Matt goes, Zach, what is one of your topics? Say homeless people.
If you didn't hear that, you should go listen to that podcast.
It's
right
pretty
now.
entertaining.
I would like to talk about homeless people. Specifically, what you think of homeless people and how you approach a situation when you have to deal with them.
Matt, I'll let you answer this one.
Okay.
So, I have a little story to go along with this, how I came to this topic.
Oh, was I there?
Did you see a homeless person?
Yesterday,
Yes, I was there.
I was in my car with Tyler. We were coming back from a graduation party. We were on a highway, like about to turn onto a highway, you know. And there was a man. You know, he had the backpack, he had the pans,
Cardboard
he had
sign.
the cardboard
It was
sign,
actually
you know.
a paper sign.
Whatever, it was a sign.
Was this like the 5-way intersection?
Was made
Yeah.
out of dead
I
trees.
Yeah.
hate that
Yeah.
intersection so much.
So,
I know exactly the guy you're talking about.
we're standing there, or we're sitting there in the
We're
car.
standing there.
We're at the red light, and you know he's going by. He's walking. He's making his rounds up and down the thing for the cars, and you know, like the woman in front of me waves him over, and she's like, "Hey, you know, like, right." Literally, as he gets to the window, the light turns green.
Okay.
The woman gives him the stuff she was giving him, but she ended up giving him like a juice box and like I don't even know
A
what.
juice box, a packet of water, and I think it was one of those like packets of like the crackers with cheese or peanut butter in between them.
There you go.
She gave
gave
away
him
those?
Yeah,
Those are the best things ever.
that. But she made it through the light, and I did not.
Oh.
I'd be so mad.
I was very furious. And then like I stopped for a second. And I was like, wait a second. Am I an asshole?
Yeah, no.
Am I an asshole for being mad that happened?
No, because she
But-
should have fucking went.
Which led me to think, you know, like we live in Pittsburgh. You know, we
City of Champions.
we see homeless people all the time in the city. You know, if we go to a Penguin game or Pirate game or anything, you know,
course.
they're always there. And
Matt's here right next to us.
yeah,
Gang.
Matt lives in a baseball field in a box
Under the bench.
under the
Bleachers.
bench. Right.
I'm chilling.
But it's like I think the reason I rarely give to homeless people. It's rare, and it's not because I don't want to, or like I think like like they don't deserve it. It's because I never know which homeless people need the money and what they're going to spend it on. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you just, like, when my dad would see a homeless person and be like, buy, like, a fast food place, He wouldn't give him money. He would just go get food and give it to him.
Right. But when I'm leaving a Penguin game, when I'm like doing something, when I'm going somewhere, I might not have the time. Yeah. I might not have like a gift card on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so for another story, I was on vacation with my family up in Canada, right? And we were by Niagara Falls, and when
tourist trap. Don't go there.
Right, when you're by Niagara Falls, there's like this really steep hill, you know, like this road, right?
Exactly what you're talking about.
So by a waterfall, there's a steep hill.
Where the Ripley's Believe It or Not thing is?
I don't know. It was a while ago, but like it was like more like going towards like the hotels and like the bars and all that stuff. And this was like the second day we were there, and there was this dude who was in a wheelchair. He didn't have any legs, and he had like a shirt saying like he was a veteran or something. And we were trying to go eat at a restaurant or something. We were walking, and he kind of wheeled up to us and was like, "Hey," to my father, and was like, "Hey, can you push me up this hill? I gotta like I want to catch the bus or whatever." You know, he said I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something along those lines. And my dad just kind of like, you know, like kind of pushed us faster and was just like, "Nope, sorry, sir, we're not, no," you know, and just kept walking. And like I was stunned by it. I was like, "Well, Dad, you're kind of being an asshole, you know, like the dude needs help, you know." And so like once we got a little further away, I said that to him. I was like, "Dude, like why didn't you just help the dude?" And he's like, "Come here." He brings me over to this bench, right? He sends like the rest of my family to the restaurant. He brings me over to a bench that kind of overlooked the dude in the wheelchair, right?
So did he pull like just a movie script on you real quick?
He sat me down. He said, I was like, "Dad, what are we doing?"
Wait, how old were you?
Oh, dude, this was years. I don't even know. I'm gonna say.
Were you 10 or younger, older?
Middle school, maybe.
Okay.
You know.
So this was definitely like a movie script right here.
So like he brought me over. He sat me down. I was like, "Dad, what are we doing here?" And he's like, "Just watch. Just watch him." I was like, "All right, okay." Well, we sit there. Maybe like 5 minutes go by, and like nobody walks by this dude. Sure as shit, he grabs he puts his hands on like the armrests of his chair, pushes up. This fucking false bottom of the chair comes out, and his leg, like, he stands up, folds up the chair, and starts walking away.
That's hard.
And I'm like, what? My mind's just blown at this point. I look at my dad, I'm like, how the hell did you know that? He goes, they're all over this place. He said, it's not that I didn't want to help him. It's that I don't know, I didn't know if he was really needed my help, or if it was that, exactly what it was. And it ended up working out, but like...
He pulled a Chiron.
What?
He pulled a Chiron, where he gets out of his wheelchair and he's a centaur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just...
There was this video I saw once on YouTube. This guy was like watching this like woman like begging for money and everything. I think he gave her some money and then like goes into this grocery store and comes out, and that same woman just goes right to her car, like looks perfectly fine, like she just like changed her clothes, looks really nice, and just gets in her car and he starts calling her out on her BS, and she's yelling that like he's harassing her, but like he had the recording like of her begging for money. So like when he's calling people, when she's calling people over to like say, "Hey, stop this dude," he shows in the video, she's like, everyone's like, "Oh, fuck you, bitch." And it's like, "You're such a cheat," and like everyone just turns on her so quick, she just gets in her car and leaves.
Right. Well, did you ever see the things on Twitter where it's like someone gets out of a car wearing like ripped clothes and like dirt on their face, and then like the next picture is them like sitting next to like a like a bench or whatever. Like,
shout out to Twitter exposing all the fakes.
I don't know. I mean, like I'd love to help the people, and like I get like things are hard, and sometimes you're not always there, like because you fucked up necessarily, but I feel like it's just so hard to identify who's actually needs help and who doesn't.
Because some people are just straight cheats trying to look for extra money.
Right.
And they would just buy a house, they'd be fine.
That's insensitive. What would you do if you were homeless?
I'd buy a house.
Another fun homeless story is when me and Zach went to Target with our friend Kirsten to get Zach's